and welcome to Avenger Park. Saturday afternoon football coming away from the NPL Victoria in round 23 of the competition as Avondale host the Dandenong Thunder. Thanks for joining us for this contest that looks to be played out in some wintry conditions, but we're glad you can be joining us from somewhere warm and dry on the NPL Victoria live stream this afternoon. A thriller here last Saturday that ultimately saw Avondale kicking themselves, going 3-1 ahead through a Sian Cuba strike on 87 minutes, only to ultimately share the points with the Oakley Cannons. But with South Melbourne slipping up last night, could the door still be ajar for an unlikely late tilt at becoming back-to-back premiers for the Avengers? They face the Dandenong Thunder, a team in as good a form as they've been all season, picking up 10 points in the last 5 matches, a dominant win for Adam Piddick's side against his old team, the Sharks, last weekend, and Jordan Smiley back and scoring a brace. His name will be on the lips of many here at Avenger Park today. My name is Steve Curtin, and it's a pleasure to be bringing you all the action here from Avenger Park this afternoon as the two captains pose for a pre-match photo, and we'll have a look at those team lineups for you this afternoon. There's two changes this afternoon for Zoran Markowski's Avengers, with Jackson Courtney Perkins, who got his first goal in the blue of Avondale last week. He comes into the starting 11 to replace Kerr and Ute Towns also coming in to the starting 11 as well, with Sian Cuba out of the squad today. And for Adam Piddick's Dandenong Thunder, we see a return for Burkan Kuda, who's probably been their best player all season. They played pretty well without him last week too in that 3-1 win against the Sharks, but he returns and there's no Jay Romanovsky in the matchday squad. Avondale with Tom Manos in goal. The back four is Dan Edwards, Aidan Bryce, Matt Reid, who had his first start in over 12 months yesterday. Also Blake Carpenter in the back four. In midfield, Ute Towns, George Mells, Christian Trycheski, and the attacking trio is Jackson Courtney Perkins, Stefan Zinni, and George Ott. Well, for the Thunder, the goal-scoring goalkeeper, Piers Clark, starts between the posts in defence. It's Sevdin Mishmaili, Mercer Mehmedi, Daniel Alessi, and Ben Jeeba. The midfield is Aidan Edwards, Danny Dixon, and Burkan Kurda. The front three, Wade Decker, Ali Suleimani, and Jordan Smiley are underway. Our referee this afternoon is Giannis Zizis, and he's going to preside over this match with Avondale in possession in their all-blue kits, and they're going to be playing to the city end, the left of your screen at home. We certainly hope you enjoy this contest, and in such wintry conditions, it's certainly the place to be if you're in the lounge room enjoying this one at home, and we'll keep you across the scores from the other game that's going on at the moment, just a little bit to the north of here, out at CV Smith Reserve. Moreland City, relegation threatened side, facing the ambitious, aspirational Heidelberg United, who have an Australia Cup date coming up. There's an early attempt on goal here by Smiley. As we said, he scored a brace last week, and, well, as we mentioned, he'll be certainly a hot topic of discussion for the fans gathered here this afternoon after the events that saw him sent off and given a 9-week suspension for the tackle on Christian Trycheski when these sides met at George Andrews Reserve earlier in the season, back on the 20th of April. The tackle that saw Christian Trycheski out of action for a while, but a 9-week suspension also for Smiley for that challenge, and an 8-0 full-time score in favour of the visiting side, Avondale, that day. As the breeze picks up here, it was blowing from the north last night. I think it's coming from the west this afternoon. And we've certainly bunkered down into wet weather mode here. As Courtney Perkins in the long sleeves on the far side, playing it inboard. He's got Trycheski, switching the play nicely for Stefan Zinni. Such good goal-scoring form this season. He floats it into the box. It's well away by that Thunder defence. And here's Dan Edwards, starting as the left-back. Slightly different role for him. He's very useful playing as the wing-back in that Adam Piddick system at Port Melbourne / Nick Marino system as well, of course, this season. Playing as a full-back now, so sitting a little bit deeper, but still got that engine to really get up and back. And it might even suit him even more playing there, as we see him making position to receive the pass here. Instead, it's played to Zinni. Zinni a little bit too busy. Loses the ball, showed too much of it to his Thunder opponents. The subs this afternoon for Zoran Markowski's side: Sebastian Vargas, Patrick Hogan, Kerr, Ethan Pisani, and Mayan, the sub keeper. Meanwhile, for Piddick's Dandenong Thunder, Thomas Dunn, Josh Carrance, Mohamed Selamovsky, Antoine Van Riet, Christian Cavallo, and Brandon Kildare. First corner of the game going the way of Avondale. George Mel's over to take. And they all line up in the 6-yard box, awaiting the delivery. In it comes to the back post area. Flying high was Reed. Reed competing for it again. Certainly played by Trycheski. Matthew Reed certainly a target from those set-piece opportunities coming back into the team. He's been a loyal member of the club, following the team around and not getting any match minutes due to injury for such a long time. And then it was really good to see him back in the team last week. His first appearance since March 2023 last week, and straight into the starting 11 and played the full game too. So it's just a heartwarming story for the Avenger fans out there. And here's Wade Decker. He's got the number 9 on his back now after a mid-season squad number switch. Seems to be suiting him. He's lining up as the right winger today. He started as more of a genuine number 10 last week. And the flag is up for offside. And of course, the big shock in NPL Victoria last night was Dandenong City in 6th place, getting a 2-1 win at Lakeside Stadium against South Melbourne. So is the door slightly ajar? Avondale are 9 points behind South Melbourne at the moment, so, and 2 goals on goal difference. So they can go within 6 points tonight if they can get the result. And they, of course, play each other in a couple of weeks in round 25. Avondale also facing Green Gully and Port Melbourne in the other remaining games. So just perhaps the door could be ajar for Avondale to go back-to-back. Dandenong City's win last night does make things a little harder for Dandenong Thunder. They now find themselves 10 points behind the 6th-placed local rivals, Dandenong City. So mathematically still possible, but probably more likely looking at just making sure that they shore up their position in the league for next season, with the likelihood growing increasingly more likely that we might see 2 teams face the drop at the end of the season rather than the 1, which was the nominated amount of teams to go down at the start of the season. But, well, that remains to be seen with the National Second Division up in the air, which is such an unfortunate state of affairs. Really wish that can still go ahead, in which case we would only see the bottom team go down this season. But things really up in the air at the moment. But the ball is down on the floor, and Blake Carpenter playing forward, looking for Courtney Perkins, who's lining up as the right winger. So he's direct replacement for Kirk Kerr in that role where he played last week. Kirk Kerr making way, dropping to the bench. Hard to get a spot in this starting 11 and hold it down. Even the likes of Blake Carpenter displaced from left back and shuttled across to right back. Not too many teams have got 2 left-footed fullbacks in their starting 11. It's normally a challenge to try and find a left-footed option. You can see plenty of crowd gathered in behind the goal at the right of screen from the Reggio Calabria club. They're enjoying this action from the super box style viewing vantage point behind glass, as they see Avondale coming forward. Zinni is the target of this pass. Zinni running at Ben Jeeba as the wind picks up, plays it against Jeeba, and he stood his ground, did Ben Jeeba, and put it behind for another corner kick for the Avengers. Take it quickly. Mel's is available. Back to Zinni. Mel's on wet surface, turns sharply, floats it into the back post area. They're lining up for it. George Ott got his head on it, the big New Zealander, but there's going to be a free kick going the way of Pierce Clark. Holding his ground well. It's difficult to judge these aerial balls. There's a real gusty breeze. It's 1 minute, there's not much breeze at all. The next minute, all you can see right in front of us, an umbrella from a spectator has gone completely inside out. And that was also the unfortunate fate of Mateo's umbrella as well. Mateo behind the camera this afternoon, giving you the best look at the action. It's our best chance to see this football without having to brave the elements through the lens of the elite videographer of the competition. It's our last time working together, so it's been a privilege, Mateo, and well, this will be 90 minutes to remember, no doubt, this afternoon here, as we are 7.5 minutes into that 90, and there's been no big saves to make for either keeper. Avondale with slightly more of the possession, but the Thunder as we've seen them, they're ready to snatch at any chances they get. And last time they played at this venue, it was 2 years ago. Avondale defeated by Dandenong Thunder 1-0. Will we see a repeat of that this afternoon? Of course, the corresponding fixture last year between these sides. As Mal's pulls the trigger, it's blocked. As we were saying, this corresponding fixture last year, Avondale's home match against the Thunder was played at Bendigo at the Epsom Huntley Recreation Reserve on an afternoon with weather that was, well, quite similar to this. It finished with a big win to the Avengers that afternoon, though, 5-1. Here's Edwards getting the cross in. There's Ott. He brought it down well. Just ran out of ideas, and well, might count as an attempt on goal, but it's very easy for Pierce Clark to block that one. Certainly a lanky figure, and what a moment it was when Pierce Clark got himself on the score sheet in injury time against Green Gully at George Andrews Reserve a few weeks ago. And then, funnily enough as well, I don't know if it's been talked about as much, he got his head on a cross in stoppage time as well the following week in the narrow loss to South Melbourne at Lakeside. So he's certainly a threat if we do see the Thunder trailing by the solitary goal in injury time. We'll definitely be seeing him looking to make a forward foray, but a long way to go yet in this one. Here's Trajewski looking to play the ball through. It's a good run for Courtney Perkins, who's motoring down the flank. George Ott was in the middle. Good defending again by that Thunder defence, who hold strong. Taken by Carpenter, not wasting any time. It's good intervention by Alessi. Sends it up the field to Suleimani. And now the Thunder can break here through Wade Decker and Smiley. He's making tracks down the right-hand side. He's got Edwards to beat. Jordan Smiley full of confidence after that double last week. Edwards picking up the ball, combining with Jiva. And the flag's up for offside against Wade Decker here. The Thunder fans on the near side don't seem to agree with that decision, but that is what the assistant referee's call is. Wenhao Zhang and Ben Lepaleo, assistant referees this afternoon. Wenhao Zhang on the near side, Ben Lepaleo on the far side. Fourth official, Alex Nikolowski. As we said, Giannis is the man in the middle, as we see once again Jackson Courtney Perkins charging through the middle. He was looking for the New Zealander, couldn't find him, and it was well blocked by Daniel Alessi, who makes yet another timely intervention, all within the first 10 minutes of play here. As the rain returns, difficult conditions for everyone here at Avenger Park, both sets of players dealing with the wind and the rain on a cold and wintry afternoon. Round 23 of the NPL Victoria. We hope you're enjoying it as the players cluster in the 6-yard box. It's going to make things difficult for Pierce Clark here. It's driven in low by Carpenter. Doesn't beat the first man though, so the Thunder defence holds strong. Carpenter on the ball again. Trajewski looking for Zinni, but it's cleared away well. Edwards is the deepest player. Gets there ahead of Suleimani. It's a rare touch for Manos, and now Aiden Bryce. So all the possession with the home side at the moment in the opening 11 minutes. Ute Towns back in the starting 11 after coming on off the bench last week. Smiley is galloping forward. He goes to ground. He gets the free kick to Jordan Smiley, and he's gone down holding his knee. It's a bit of an awkward one. Catch that one on our replay screen in a minute when the replay comes as the rain starts to team down here again at Avenger Park. Good run by Smiley, picking the ball up on the halfway line, running away from Ute Towns, and then as he was going to ground, Aiden Bryce coming across his body as he was already falling. We can really hear that breeze through our effects mic now. It's picking up a southwester. Thankfully for the spectators gathered here, the grandstand on the Tullamarine Freeway side of the venue is open again, or at least the front portion of it, and it's very jam-packed over there as people look to take shelter from these conditions. Now the set piece is about to be taken by Mercer Mehmedi. He has one goal in the league this season, does the 23-year-old. Left-footed option here. Will he go the direct route take on Tom Manos. It's Mehmeti's ball in, driven in low. Manos down with the volleyball dig to try and get it away. Edwards on the ball. Sends it up the line. Well played by Dan Edwards, looking for Zinni. Thunder back in possession again, and having a pot shot was Septim Ismaili. Septim Ismaili, one of the players who's featured in every game so far for the Dandenong Thunder so far this season. Edwards' ball forward. The breeze might hold it up a tiny bit. I'm trying to say breeze, that's an understatement. The gale will be more appropriate. Nonetheless, it continued out of play for a goal kick. The other result last night, the Melbourne Knights getting a 2-1 win against Altona Magic, so the Knights will still fancy themselves of being a chance to sneak into the top 6. We might have a bit of an injury concern for Pierce Clark here, unable to take his goal kick. Suleimani's touch, couldn't bring it under his spell. Nice flick on by George Ott, and he finds Stefan Zinni in plenty of space out wide on the left. He floats it in, looking for Ott, who was there. Oh, Trycheski might have gotten George Ott's way there, in fact. Two players charging in for the ball, trying to get on the end of the pass from Stefan Zinni. Aiden Edwards has picked himself up off the floor. It's been a good season for the 22-year-old coming in from Coburn City in Western Australia's NPL. I believe I pronounced that correctly. Well, the subs for the Thunder are all warming up to the left of screen. Avondale subs remain seated underneath the roof of the dugout. It's sent forward by Mehmeti. Good header by Carpenter. This game, not really a classic so far, but could spring into action at any moment. And Stefan Zinni looks to take on Ben Jeeva. Good overlap from Edwards. And shooting the ball over the line well was Danny Dixon. Well played by the experienced figure who's taken up more of a central role in the team of late. We're used to seeing him playing in the wide areas, Danny Dixon. He'll celebrate his 30th birthday in September. Plenty of experience on his side. Very good servant at Hume City over the years. Kerdar with the touch. Adam Pittick glad to be able to welcome Birkin Kerdar back into his starting 11 today after serving his suspension of one match for picking up his 5th yellow card the previous week. Trycheski trying to feed the through ball. It's well picked off, and here comes the Thunder again with Wade Decker able to turn and play forward. Kerdar could pull the trigger from there. Suleimani might, and it's blocked by Gidze Towns. Here's Jeeva. Sends in a deep ball to the back post area. One for Smiley to attack. Carpenter playing it forward on the right boot, just showing us that he is a good two-footed player. We're going to see an early change that's been forced here, so it looks like Aiden Edwards is going to be replaced here by Thomas Dunn. So an early change on 17 minutes for the Thunder. Good news for Aiden Edwards. He said he's been so reliable, but a good chance for Thomas Dunn here. He came off the bench last week in the win against the Sharks. A good young prospect coming from the Wollongong Wolves, coming across the Murray River after being the under-20 player of the season and the Golden Boot winner in 2023 with the Wollongong Wolves. So certainly one to watch with an eye for goal. Looks like he's lining up in midfield though, so well, goals from midfield are certainly worth their weight in gold. Sliding in was Zinni, and he's done so illegally according to Giannis Isis, showing the studs and a yellow card for his troubles for Stefan Zinni. That'll be his 4th yellow card of the season in NPL Victoria. Kurtar with the socks down. At least partially down. Stands over the set piece. Hands on hips, looking for the options. There's plenty of tall timber gathered around the back post area. Everyone back behind the ball for Avondale. Not taking any chances here. In by Kurtar. Driven in well, and they're lining up for it, and the header is just past the post. What a great delivery. An exceptional delivery by Burkan Kurtar. The header was only inches away from Daniel Alessi. One of these players has made the trip down across the Murray, a really good season at St George City previously. Before coming down to NPL Victoria. Ball stays in play for Zinni here. He's got George Ott ahead of him, making the run into the channel. It is George Ott. Can he square it? The flag's up for offside. Ben Lepaleo on the far side had no doubt that the New Zealander had moved too soon past the last man. Easy decision. 20 minutes nearly gone here, and it's still 0-0 in this one. Edwards picks up the loose ball. Certainly a scruffy game out there in these conditions at the moment. Just asking for someone to stand up with a moment of brilliance to separate the two sides. Here's Mells. Carpenter. Bryce looking for options. Reed back in the captain's armband again. One's out of play in front of the grandstand on the freeway side of the venue. That's where all the spectators are gathered today. We've got the food trucks to our left, but there's only a couple of camping style shade shelters on this side of the venue, so as you can see, everyone gathered over under the roof, and certainly the sensible place to be this afternoon. Very unpleasant conditions. We've seen at least a couple of umbrellas being blown inside out. We've only gone 20 minutes. Ishmaeli, there's Kurtar. Alessi, well, they've turned it over here. Zinni, there's a door open here for Avondale to play through. Fun of getting plenty of players back. Zinni's ball in, blocked by Alessi. It's hung over the top for Trycheski, who puts it away. And we do have the opener on 21 minutes, set up by Jackson Courtney Perkins. A really clever ball over the top. And Christian Trycheski, who's been in a hot run of scoring since coming back from injury, well, he made short work of that opportunity, firing it past Pierce Clark. Good play down the right-hand side. It broke for Courtney Perkins. He put the 7-iron under it, maybe the pitching wedge, and at the back post, Christian Trycheski did the rest. Rain comes down at Avenger Park. It's Avondale 1, Dandenong Thunder 0 in this one. Christian Trycheski, his 3rd of the season. All of those goals coming since coming back from the injury layoff. Goal that separates the two sides at the moment. Ali Suleimani having a bit to say to Giannis Isis about something that he didn't appreciate in the previous phase of play. We've even got one of the ground marshals attending to an advertising hoarding that's blown off the fencing at the left of screen near the big digital scoreboard. That's the kind of conditions that we're seeing today. Who can make the most of them at the moment? Avondale enjoying the 1-0 lead. And we get back underway again. So Thunder with it all to do. Really good result last week. They've had the better form line of the two sides coming into this game as well. Have the Dandenong Thunder picking up 10 points in their last 5 games to Avondale's 7. Here's George Ott. Ute Towns. Time for Aiden Bryce to try and pick his pass here as he strides forward, directing traffic ahead of him. Edwards is available. And Zinni, the 1-2. Zinni's been so busy down the left flank in the opening 23 minutes of this one. Matt Reid sends the ball wide. It bounced awkwardly, but he was able to get it out of his feet and switch the ball nicely. Ott trying to pick up possession here. He's done well, George Ott. Now Courtney Perkins looking to provide another assist perhaps, or Trycheski returning the favour to him. Dixon is able to play forward, looking for Smiley, but the trajectory of the pass just curled away from the striker. Decker might be winning this ball back here off Edwards, who just didn't see how close away Decker was to closing him down perhaps. Touch for Manos, switching the play for Carpenter, who's looking right at home at right back so far, opposed to his customary left back role that he's been fulfilling of late since Dan Edwards joined the club from the Port Melbourne Sharks in the mid-season transfer window. There's a free kick for a high boot here, and it's going to be going the way of Dandenong Thunder. Plenty of protest from the Avondale midfielders. Burkan Kurdar certainly felt the force of the high boot, and hence the free kick going his way. It wasn't so much a high boot, it was more of a studs raised from Ute Towns. Looking on the replay as he was stamping in a downward motion rather than an upward one, but some contact on the former Melbourne Victory midfielder. Saw the free kick given, but it came to nothing nonetheless. Here's Edwards now. The wind swings around. It's really coming from left to the right of your screen now from the southern end of the venue, and it certainly feels every bit of southerly breeze straight off the Antarctic here this afternoon in Parkville in inner city Melbourne. This NPL Victoria round 23 clash. It's Christian Trycheski on the ball. It's his goal that separates the two sides. Stefan Zinni loses out, and Decker's going to play the ball forward. The school teacher trying to teach a lesson to these Avondale players. At the moment though, it's been largely one-way traffic. Smiley's header. Decker at full stretch. Touch for the substitute done there. As the rain starts to team down again. Kurdar under pressure. Avondale really outnumbering and winning the midfield battle at the moment as the ball skips over the fence. There's not too many people around to play ball boy, not as many as there would usually be on this side of the pitch. The broadcast and club room side of the venue. Just nearby the former Athletes Village from the 2006 Melbourne Commonwealth Games. And here's Stefan Zinni looking to get around Ben Jeever. Gets to the byline. Well played again by Ben Jeever. He's been very solid so far at left back as the former South Melbourne defender. Or right back, should I say. So another corner going the way of Avondale. Just over halfway through the first 45. Just the one goal so far this afternoon. It's in by Malles into the back post area. They're queuing up for it. It's Reid and Ott with the flick on. Just hung in the air for a long time. Trycheski. Can he open up the space for a shot? It's maybe a chance for Towns to drive. Oh, he had the right idea, but he couldn't pick out that ball into the near post area. There was a bit of a gap in between the defenders there that he had. Piers Clark probably would have had it covered nonetheless had it been on target. Piers Clark, who we saw Wasn't able to take one of his earlier goal kicks, but it's going to be a repeat of that here, it looks like, as we're going to see Daniel Alessi take the goal kick for him. So perhaps a bit of a quadricep strain for Pierce Clark, you fancy, or groin or something similar, hamstring even. Coming forward with the ball now is Dixon. He loses out, and now Mal's in possession. Out wide is Zinni. Leads Benjiba to the ball. Raining cats and dogs here in Parkville this afternoon. And the first touch skips off the boot of Blake Carpenter, and out of play for a Thunder throw. Well, the wind has eased up, if that's any consolation, but the rain has certainly decided to start coming down at full gusto as Courtney Perkins getting forward, taking on Mehmeti. Well played by Merson Mehmeti, winning the ball back. Sliding in was Ott. The striker coming in. He's going to go into the book here. Stefan Zinni in the book already, and George Ott picking up a yellow ticket as well for his troubles. Yellow card going the way of Adam Piddick as well, who's got plenty to say. He'll need to mind his P's and Q's there, because Giannis Isis is not enjoying what he's hearing from the the Dandenong Thunder technical area. And they're still going there, and everyone sits down eventually. Well, one of the venues where we broadcast from the opposite side to the technical areas, and I'm sure we'd be hearing a lot more through our effects mic if we were on the same side. Coaches drowned out by the sound of the Tullamarine Freeway over there. Well, George Ott decided to take the chance and come sliding in to try and intervene the ball, but well, we'll at the old cliche, a real striker's challenge. Ball forward towards Smiley. It's over the top and headed by Carpenter. Yite Towns is there. Now Ott. Courtney Perkins. Here's Blake Carpenter. Played forward by Mehmeti. It's a good pass too to find Wade Decker, who's pulled into the central position. And now Jeeba is charging forward. Ben Jeeba, he's got no one ahead of him on the right-hand side of the park. Pushed to the corner by Edwards and Yite Towns. Here's Dunn, the substitute, scrapping for it with Towns. Both got a handful of each other's shirts. The blue shirt looked like it was stretched further than the red and black one, though, and the free kick goes the way of Yite Towns. And Avondale, as we see so often, not taking any time and getting the ball down on the floor and playing it straight away. Good skill by Blake Carpenter. Seems to be enjoying playing as the right back on his opposite side of his usual preferred left back role as he switches the play on the left peg. And here's Stefan Zinni, floats it across, too much on it. Well, the lead up was great. It was a slaloming run, and then the cross was just too hot to handle. Here's Suleimani. Could he be the player to ignite the Thunder? A goal before half-time would certainly put the cat amongst the pigeons here, but at the moment it's been largely one-way traffic, and that is to the left of your screen, the southern or city end of Adventure Park. Christian Trycheski's goal on 22 minutes separating the two sides as it stands at the moment at this one. Here is Suleimani charging down the left flank, looking for options. He's got Decker in the middle, and it is Wade Decker. Tries his luck. It's just past the post. Manos didn't look too troubled. And the rain really coming down here at Adventure Park. Players looking forward to the halftime whistle from referee Giannis Isis for a chance to duck inside and under the shelter of the dressing rooms. But we've still got the best part of 15 minutes to go until that time. Good touch by Edwards, and he's got a bit of green grass ahead of him to stride into. Zinni was available, but he was well marked by Jeeba. So the ball is switched from left to right, and here's Carpenter galloping forward. Plenty of space for him too as the Thunder defence has retreated, sitting back in a deep lying position at the moment. Zinni now plays it inside. Mel's good first time pass for Yite Towns. Pressure from Smiley. Courtney Perkins is available out wide right. He gets it in early and Ott's there. And a good bit of defending by Daniel Alessi again. He's been excellent so far this afternoon, has Daniel Alessi, and he denied George Ott there, who's not been able to find much space and time this afternoon with that tall timber in the defence for the Thunder. Certainly not allowing him any room to move around that penalty area. So the goal kick taken long again. Trajewski, good combination with Malz, and Zinni could be in here. This is Stefan Zinni for two! And it goes wide. Was there a touch? We'll give that credit to Piers Clark for the save. Corner kick to Avondale. Oh, Piers Clark preventing a one-on-one chance there. Straight from the goal kick, it come straight back at a rate of knots. Trajewski and Malz combining in the centre of the park, and it was a really good ball for Malz to pick out Stefan Zinni, who just swapped wings in the previous phase of play with Jackson Courtney Perkins. And it almost paid off instantly. Driven in by Carpenter. What was the target? Free kick going the way of the Thunder. The sun is almost coming out here. You feel we're having a sun shower, turning into weather updates here from Avenger Park, it feels like, with just over 10 minutes to go until half-time. We're just working on getting those scores from around the grounds for you. That match happening between Moreland City and Heidelberg United just up the road, but the rain is wreaking havoc with our technology here, just like a Microsoft server yesterday. It's the Thunder look to play out from the back here. This is Burkhan Kurdart dropping deep to pick up the ball between the central defenders. Alessi. Trajewski skips over the halfway line. That's a good switch of play to find Dan Edwards. The mid-season signing from JL Murphy Reserve, certainly enjoying himself in the blue of Avondale. Bryce. Far side is Carpenter. This is Malz. Good little 1-2. The give and go. Throw goes the way of the Thunder. Okay, we do now have those scores for you. It's a 1-0 lead to Heidelberg United on 37 minutes at CB Smith Reserve against Moreland City. Some scores as well from Victoria's second tier. North Geelong are leading 1-0 against Eastern Lions at Gardeners Creek Reserve there in Melbourne's east. And there's other games coming up for you in the NPL competition later today. Port Melbourne and Green Gully at 5 o'clock. Hume and Manningham at 7 o'clock. And we've got a problem here for Matt Reid, which is not good to see. He's been out of action for so long. Second game back from injury. Trainer is out to address the situation. Just trying to find on our replay screen. Actually transpired he might have, he may have just gone down in back play, which is never a good sign. So just under 10 minutes till half time, should we say, and it looks like that's going to be the end of the afternoon. So it's a sad situation for Matt Reid. Your heart goes out to the big man, a great club person of Avondale, over 12 months on the sidelines, making his return last week, and you can see The emotions coming out for Matt Reid as he's handed over the captain's armband to Aidan Bryce, and he's been subbed out in the first half here. Well, we wish him a speedy recovery, and we hope nothing too serious, and that the substitution is something more of a precautionary nature than something too severe, and we might see him back out there again before the end of the season. Certainly a tough blow to take for the 28-year-old veteran of 130 games in Victoria's top tier. Trycheski's ball forward, looking for Ott, but getting there first is Alessi, who's been a standout in defence for the Thunder this afternoon. Plays it up towards Decker. It refuses to go out of play. Mel's in space. So good at picking up those little pockets of space, George Mel's. He received that ball with, say, 4 Dandenong Thunder players all equal distances away from him in a diamond. Him right at the heart of it. We'll see that change take place now. So confirming Matt Reid, only second game back from injury, subbed out in the first half, and he's replaced by Kerr. Looks like Blake Carpenter's going to be going back to become a makeshift central defender. So a real reshuffle. Yute Towns is like he's moved across to right back as well. Kerr dropping into central midfield. So, well, wholesale changes as a result of that injury for Matt Reid. There was an option of Ethan Pisani on the bench to bring on as a like for like, but that's the way we've gone. Kerr is out on the park, and a reshuffle has taken place for Zoki Markowski's side. And here's Stefan Zinni. He's got Courtney Perkins in the box, and Kerr, the substitute, he got a foot on it, but it was agonisingly just a little too far behind him, and he was unable to direct it at Pierce Clark's goal, and it goes behind for another goal kick. So both sides forced into making a change due to injury in the first half. Aiden Edwards off earlier for Dandenong Thunder, and now Matt Reid is the latest player forced off with injury on this wet track here this afternoon, with just under 5 minutes until half-time. Christian Trycheski's goal separating the two sides. So 1-0 here, and also 1-0 up the road at CB Smith Reserve, with relegation threatened Moreland City sitting on the bottom of the table and trailing 1-0 to Heidelberg United, a team with ambitions in both NPL Victoria and the Australia Cup at the moment. Got a big match against the Central Coast Mariners coming up at Olympic Village in a couple of weeks. Kerr was the target of the through ball, but again, well defended by the Thunder. They've had plenty of practice on the defensive duties so far this afternoon, because they've had to chase around left and right as Avondale has stroked the ball across this damp surface for a large portion of this first 45 minutes. Many pitches around Victoria, certainly not looking as healthy as this one is. This one almost playing better on a damp day than it does on a dry day. Alessi switching the play for the Thunder. This is Merson Mehmeti directing traffic, looking for options ahead of him. Smiley had come short, but the ball was played over his head, so the move broke down straight away, and possession has returned all too quickly to Avondale. Well, the rotations continue. Dan Edwards is now sitting as the left central defender, and Blake Carpenter popping up at left back. Hard to keep across all of these positional changes. Mal's ball for Carpenter is a good one. Floats it into the back post area. Won't stay in play. Zinni's there. Good first touch by Stefan Zinni. And Kerr can pass this one into the net, but he passed it wide of the upright. He puts his hands on his hips in disgust, and he's asking himself how he didn't score there. He's only been on the park just over 5 minutes, and he could have potentially already had a couple of goals to his name. on till half-time now. Thanks for your company on the NPL Victoria live stream this afternoon. Steve Curtin with you on the call. Mateo behind the camera, the best in the business for Sportscast Australia. And it's great to be working with you again, young man, on your second last match that you'll be covering. And fans can tune in and see Mateo's work at the match between Hume City and Manning United Blues coming up this evening at 7 o'clock from Broadmeadows Valley Park. So by all means, venture out there to Broadmeadows to catch that one. Very good kebabs out there, I must say. But if you're not venturing out there and you want to watch that one from the comfort of your own home, we'll have that one covered for you on the NPL Victoria live stream. Mateo behind the camera for that one as well. His last game filming for us here in NPL Victoria competition. It's been an absolute pleasure to be working alongside you. But we've still got another 45 to go after this one, Mateo, so we're going to milk it for all it's worth. We'll have to come over and sample some Colombian football to visit you in the future. But at the moment, it's Dandenong Thunder. Can they get on the scoreboard before halftime? The chance is blocked. It was a good opening by Ali Suleimani, but couldn't find room for the shot. And his opposite number 11, Kerr, is playing it out wide to Jackson Courtney Perkins in the white boots, running at Benjiba. Overlap from Carpenter. Can he swing in a useful ball? It's away by Alessi. Only as far as that man Carpenter again. And now Edwards, who's deputising as the left central defender, alongside Aidan Bryce. Ute Towns playing as a right back. Versatility required by these Avondale players. Mel's directing traffic again in the last minute of the first half now. Christian Trycheski's goal separating the two sides. Ball over the top to Courtney Perkins. He's onside here. And again, it's a good bit of defending to clear that one away. Daniel Alessi, time and time again, he refuses to be beaten by these Avondale attackers. Benjiba drawing the ball on the shirt. Unfortunately, the shirt is just as wet as the ball. Free kick's going to go the way here of Dandenong Thunder, and well, a chance for one last attack as we wait to see the fourth official, Alex Nikolowski, raise his board, which says 3 minutes further to be played. Unfortunately, the rain is just starting to ease for this bit of first half stoppage time, so that's certainly welcome for the players and officials and fans that have gathered here for this match this afternoon. NPL Victoria, round 23 of the competition, into the last month of the season for the home and away. A win here for Dandenong Thunder, if they're able to come from behind, would certainly ease any fears of relegation, as Burkhan Curtis made an excellent run down the flank. Out wide, he finds Danny Dixon. And it's going to be a corner for the Thunder, so really good bit of play by Burkhan Curtis, showing his skills. He showed a clean pair of heels to several opponents from the Avondale midfield there. And he wins his side the corner kick effectively, or at least via Danny Dixon's play out wide. And Dixon's going to take the corner himself. So everyone's in the box apart from a couple of outfield players from each side. And Decker gets his head on it, couldn't direct it towards the goal. And Tom Banos is able to come and claim, and that might be the last attack for the first half for the Thunder. Avondale looking to take some time off the clock. Good pass by Bryce, finds Mel's, but then Mel's pass was too hot to handle for Blake Carpenter, and he puts his hand up to apologise. Does the former Adelaide United midfielder. Jeever about to take the throw down the line. It slipped in his hands. The wet ball, well, he was drying that previous one on his shirt and then gave up after realising his shirt was probably more wet than the ball was. Ball played out wide by Dunn. And drilled in, and a good save by Manos. So the attempt coming in from Danny Dixon. He pulled the trigger. Good contact on the shot. You heard the thud of the strike through our effects mic here on the NPL Victoria live stream. Manos tiffing it around for a corner. So another corner in first half stoppage time for the Thunder to be taken by Danny Dixon. He's got the tall timber to aim at. Mehmedi is one of them, and Manos Mouse got there first and just got a paw to it to steer it away and in the direction of George Malls. That might just about do us for the first half in terms of attacking opportunities. Kurtar picking up the ball again though. The Thunder finishing this first half with a wet sail. Certainly not the only thing that's damp this afternoon as the ball's played out wide by Suleimani. This is Dixon. Plays it inside. Kurtar making a good run across the face of the goal. Manos with the intervention. Forward by Bryce. Play by Ott. Kicked out Mells. The two Georges combining. And that will be half-time as Giannis Isis points to the dressing rooms. He instructs the players to head inside. Grab your beach towels and try and dry down a bit for the second 45. Hopefully the rain might clear for the second 45 too. We'll wait and see about that one though, but we certainly hope you've enjoyed this first 45. It was a bit of a dour struggle at times. Avondale enjoying the bulk of possession, creating a few opportunities, and then the Dandenong Thunder limited probably to a late flurry which saw them call Tom Manos into action a couple of times there and generate a couple of opportunities from the corner kicks with Danny Dixon swinging in a couple of dangerous balls, but that's the goal from Christian Trycheski, set up by Jackson Courtney Perkins on 22 minutes that separates the two sides. And it gives Avondale that faint hope that they'll be able to challenge South Melbourne and maybe, just maybe, they could still go back-to-back premiers in NPL Victoria. They trail South by 6 points on the live ladder, 3 more games to go, but plenty of action to go in this one. And of course the other talking point from the first half was the unfortunate injury to Matthew Reid on his second game back from being out for over 12 months. And we see Adam Pedic coming over, the opposition coach, to console him as they head down the tunnel for the half-time interval. But we'll take a short break from here. Steve Curtin with you. We're back for the second half alongside Matteo behind the camera. Our last shift together. We're certainly enjoying it despite it raining cats and dogs here at Avenger Park. We're at half-time. The score is Avondale 1, Dandenong Thunder 0. to Avenger Park for the second 45 of this NPL Victoria round 23 contest. It is a 1-0 lead, the slenderest of leads, but still a convincing performance by Avondale in the first half. Saw Jackson Courtney Perkins set up Christian Trycheski on 22 minutes. And that goal separating the two sides as we return for the second 45. We hope you're enjoying this one wherever you're tuning in, whether you're somewhere in Melbourne, perhaps somewhere more exotic and further afield in warmer conditions. But even if you are at home, we hope you are somewhere nice and warm with the fire going and a hot cup of tea in your hand to get yourself through the second 45 of this one. It's going to be Dandenong Thunder to get us started. Dandenong Thunder were forced into that one change during the first 45, forced through injury to take off Aidan Edwards. He was replaced by the young New South Welshman Thomas Dunn, who gets the touch on the ball there. As we mentioned before half-time, unfortunate injury to Matthew Reid, his second game back from over 12 months out of the game, and he was subbed off late in that first half, replaced by Kerr. Here's Courtney Perkins, had an excellent first half, zigging and zagging, but he showed too much of the football to Thomas Dunn. And now Smiley on the ball, and his pocket picked by Blake Carpenter. Mal's in space in the middle of the park. Trycheski directing traffic ahead of him. That pass was off target. We've seen that so many times this afternoon on this slick surface with plenty of rain coming down. Switches of play just a little bit too far ahead of the opponent and skidding off that wet surface. But it has to be said that playing field's in excellent condition, particularly considering the weather that we've had in Melbourne the last week or so. It's been absolutely dire, wintry conditions aplenty. Touch for Pierce Clark, who does seem to be carrying a bit of an injury niggle himself, unable to take those longer goal kicks, only coming into action to play the short passes out of the box, relying on his defenders to hit the ball long when required. Here's Ben Jeeba, skipping past his coach in the technical area, who did see a yellow card in the first half, did Adam Piddick, as Jeeba hangs this one in. It's a monstrous cross, and it's out of play for a goal kick. Danny Dixon forced to play ball boy over there. There's, as we said, very few spectators gathered around, but given the rain has eased up during the halftime break, there is a few more spectators gathered around the perimeter of the premises here, the perimeter of the field. In the first half, everyone congregating in the grandstand on the far side. Good sliding challenge by Carpenter. He's Kerr in space. Out wide is Zinni. He's asking a bit of Stefan Zinni here as Kerr, but Zinni's also in an offside position in the first place. Flag raised by assistant referee Wenhao Zhang. Is Merson Mehmedi. Birkin Kurda. Could he be the key that can spark this Dandenong Thunder side back into action? Their last win against Avondale came at this venue 2nd of July 2022. A Josh Meeker goal on 54 minutes was the solitary goal of the game. Ball out wide. Dixon couldn't keep it in play. Bryce. You see Yute Towns there alongside Aidan Bryce. Don't adjust your sets. It is Yute Towns playing as the right back. He was moved there after the injury to Matt Reid. So a few players repurposed after that substitution of Matt Reid. Attempted acrobatic backheel by the big otter from New Zealand, unable to make contact with the ball, and here's Smiley getting involved. Certainly a player that can spark his team. He did so last week. Smiley and also Ali Suleimani, both of those guys getting on the score sheet and providing an assist for one another last week. Here's Wade Decker, and he puts it away. Does Wade Decker? Well, just like that, their first genuine attempt of the second half, and inside 5 minutes of coming back out of the dressing rooms, Wade Decker has slotted the ball past Tom Manos, and it's game on here at 1-1. Dandenong Thunder, not to be denied. They've came out strong since the halftime break. Plenty of attacking potency in Adam Piddick's side, and this time it's Wade Decker, who didn't get himself on the score sheet last week, but he does today. That's his 7th of the season for Dandenong Thunder's leading scorer. What a good finish it was too. Tom Manos was well beaten. Dandenong Thunder showing that despite their ladder position, they are one of the form teams in the comp. As we said, picking up 10 points from their last 5 outings. So Avondale, if they want to try and keep any kind of pressure on South Melbourne, they need to respond here. Edwards. They've certainly got the breeze behind their backs in their second half, but both goals have been scored against the breeze in this one. Here's Suleimani. The Thunder all of a sudden looking inspired. Decker. Overlap provided by Jeeva. Jeeva going left then right. Can he get around Stefan Zinni, who's tracking all the way back? He's the Avondale winger, and he's conceding a corner kick. So, chance from the set piece opportunity here for the Thunder. We have heard around the grounds that there was a late first half equalizer by Diego Cuba for Moreland City against Heidelberg United. So while there's no Sian Cuba here, Diego Cuba, his brother, has scored his first NPL Victoria goal out at CV Smith Reserve to give some hope and life to Morelands. This corner comes in. Manos got a paw on that one again, and he's second to come in and claim it off the body of George Mells. It fell kindly for Manos to lunge over and grab that one. And now there's a bit of pressure here again as Decker nips in to take the ball. This is Wade Decker. A good challenge by Edwards. He was lying on the floor, but he managed to win the ball back. Well played by the former Shark. So we talked about the versatility of Daniel Edwards. Of course, it's not a huge positional or tactical switch to go from playing as a wing-back to a full-back, but Dan Edwards has gone from playing wing-back at the Sharks earlier this season to left back to now left central defender as he plays that ball wide. He lost his footing, but the pass was on target. Carpenter, oh, that's easily picked off by Thomas Dunn. Striding forward is Thomas Dunn. He finds Decker, who in turn finds Suleimani, and the Thunder are full of running here early in this second half. Smiley gets it out of his feet. It's Jordan Smiley. Oh, the pass was on there, you fancy, to Thomas Dunn, and well, perhaps he should have laid it off there instead of trying to go his own way. Jordan Smiley. Kerr receiving from Courtney Perkins. That's a good ball in for Stefan Zinni. The flag's up for offside. It was an excellent pass from Kerr, but the timing of the run was not of the essence as far as Avondale were hoping. Classic pass by Kerr. He's on the ball again here. He's got a chance to maybe go his own way. Stefan Zinni's in again, and he's going to score here this time. Well, seconds apart, denied for offside. The same combination. Kerr serving it on a plate for Stefan Zinni. The pass between the fullback and the central defender. The run untracked. And Stefan Zinni firing it past Piers Clark from close range. That's one of the more extraordinary things that I've ever seen in a football game. It was Dandenong Thunder doing the bulk of the attacking for the last few minutes. And then the next thing you know, Stefan Zinni set up by Kerr once offside, and then only, say, within the next 20 seconds of that happening, a direct repeat with the Dandenong Thunder losing possession high up the park. Kerr nicking it off Burke and Kurta, skipping past one, playing it through the defensive line. And Stefan Zinni, well, it was easy work to do the rest and put that one in the back of the net and ensure that back to that single goal lead for Avondale. They lead this one 2-1, almost 10 minutes gone in the second half. So certainly an eventful opening to the second 45. Wade Decker and Stefan Zinni both getting their names on the score sheet. Stefan Zinni, that's his 12th of the season. So he's well and truly in the golden boot races, Stefan Zinni, this year. After missing a spell through injury midway through the season, he's certainly up and running with the likes of Harrison Sawyer, who also grabbed another goal in South Melbourne's rare loss last night, defeated by Dandenong City on their home deck as well, nonetheless, at Lakeside. Jonas is demanding the ball has rolled back a couple of revolutions to where the foul took place here. Blake Carpenter's gone back too far now, he's been told. No, the wall is the one-man wall of Ali Suleimani is in the right place. It is. It's going to be Carpenter to swing it in. It's a useful ball. Clark comes and punches. Oh, he was cleaned up in the process. Well played by the big man. He came out bravely and punched that one away. And a big collision of bodies in the box. Well, the delivery from Blake Carpenter was right in the corridor of uncertainty. And a big collision in the penalty area. And it looks like it's Aiden Bryce who was the player who came in and collected Pierce Clark. So the free kick going the way of Clark, who came and knocked the ball away. Pleasantries exchange between the two players. So 2-1 to Avondale. If you have just joined us, Christian Trycheski scoring in the first half before an equaliser from Wade Decker, and then Stefan Zinni only a few minutes later getting Avondale back in the lead. Here's George Ott and Kerr putting that previous goal on a platter for Stefan Zinni. An excellent through ball between the central defender and the fullback. Here's Suleimani. Yute Towns giving chase. That's going to be a foul by Suleimani. He's going to go into the book here. It's getting a bit nasty between these two sets of players. This happened last time they met too. So on a cold afternoon at Parkville here, it's certainly hot action in the middle. And Jonas is forced to pull out the card there for Ali Suleimani, who goes into the book. We've also seen George Ott booked this afternoon, as well as Stefan Zinni from Avondale. George Ott trying to feed the ball through. Carpenter made a good run forward. Here's Ott again looking for options. It's Trycheski. Plenty of plays behind the ball for the Thunder. Carpenter looking for options in the box. There's not really anyone in position to cross to, so Avondale will just smartly decide to recycle possession from one side of the park to the other. Courtney Perkins. Assisting him is Yute Towns. Kept in play at the line. Suleimani. Dixon. Kerdar. Followed by Ismaili. Space for Trycheski. First time pass from Ott. Here's Courtney Perkins. It's a deft touch of the football. Down near the corner flag is the New Zealander Ott. Gets it past his man and swings it in. It actually went out to play in the process. It's a crafty touch past the outstretched boot of Mercer Mehmedi to make some space for the cross, but the officials deemed the ball to have crossed the byline in the process. Samdev Ishmaeli. Kudar is told to turn and face forward. Pressure from Trycheski. Switches to play well. Jeeva is out wide on the right-hand side. The Thunder, some really good work to get themselves back into this game, and no sooner had they equalised through Wade Decker, they had gone behind again. Certainly a bright opening to the first 7 or 8 minutes of the first half. There's going to be a card coming out here, this time for George Malles. He left a boot in there on his opponent, Daniel Alessi. So plenty of exuberant fouls going on. It's the 4th yellow card of the afternoon. 3 of them to Avondale players. Certainly, as we saw last time these sides met, a bit of feeling between these two groups of players, and we've seen that again this afternoon. Just a few tackles where there's been a bit left in there. Looking at that one again, the studs were raised from George Malles. A good decision from Giannis Isis. Dandenong Thunder players thinking that maybe there could have been a further sanction than a yellow. So we get underway again. Dandenong Thunder looking to get themselves back into this one again. Dixon, Kurdar rolled through his legs, but Lux are fortunate. Broke for Decker, and he was almost able to play Jordan Smiley in there. Courtney Perkins gets around one, throws the step over at Ishmaeli. And Samdev Ishmaeli's done well here. He should win himself the free kick, but there's no whistle on play from Giannis. This is going to be a corner kick instead. So Samdev Ishmaeli going to ground, looking to get the free. Nothing doing. Wind picking up here again at Avenger Park. We hope that the rain will stay away. That would be ideal. As Blake Carpenter prepares to deliver the in-swinger here. Decides to go short. Ute Towns is there. They got the overload. Taking the ball off Kurdar and floating it in towards George Ott. And it's a good save from Pierce Clark. George Ott with a textbook forwards header. Ball floated into the box. Pierce Clark equal to the attempts. Keeps Dandenong Thunder in the match. Might be about to see a change here for the Thunder. 4th official frantically trying to get the board ready, but we're going to play on and wait until the next stoppage in play. As the rain is threatening to come down again here. Mercer Mehmeti's ball out to Danny Dixon. Kurdar. Decker draws a crowd, but keeps his feet well. Does the Dandenong Thunder goal scorer this afternoon. Jeeva. Decker making the run. Bounces off Carpenter. Jeeva again. This is better from the Thunder. Keeping the ball off Avondale. Having some possession themselves now. Ishmaeli. Dixon's ball for Kurdar, and it's just past the outstretched boot of Burkan Kurdar. Well, both sides have got a substitute prepared on the touchline on the far side. We might see a change for each side take place now, and it will be Josh Carrance, the player, coming on. So a handy player to be able to bring on Josh Carrance. 4 goals across both competitions, league and cup this season for Josh Carrance. He's going to come on and replace Danny Dixon. And for Avondale, it's the end of the shift for Stefan Zinni. He's going to be replaced by Sebastian Vargas. So a winger for a fullback. So a positional reshuffle there, and Vargas is going to slot into right back, which will mean that Ute Towns moving back into midfield. Kerr pushing up to play as the left winger. Daniel Edwards, well, he's still winding up as a central defender. Bryce, crafty switch of play to that man, Dan Edwards. Carpenter back in his natural left back role. Adam Piddick in the technically on the far side. He mustn't feel the cold. It's like he's just wearing a trendy sports jacket and a t-shirt underneath. Feels like it's about 7 degrees here at the moment at Avenger Park. We will reach into our kit and check our commentator issue thermometer, which is the digital version today. 11 degrees currently in Melbourne, but the feels like index is 8 with this breeze that we're having, so that comes as no surprise. Well, Seb Vargas's first act since coming on will be to take this throw. Flicked on by the big Otter, George Ott. Looking for Courtney Perkins, couldn't find him, but Courtney Perkins has nicked the ball back. It's Courtney Perkins. He could be in for his second goal in as many weeks, while he was somewhat checked by Daniel Alessi, holding his ground well. No foul by Daniel Alessi. Well played. He's been a standout in that Thunder defence this afternoon as we see the attempt from Christian Trycheski. A cheeky effort from downtown. It skims the crossbar and it goes out of play. Well, that wasn't far away from making the net bulge, as that one was flying towards Pierce Clark's goal at the Reggio Calabria Club end of the venue, northern end, that Avondale are attacking in this second 45. Zoki Markowski up out of his seat, pointing some instructions to his players. It's Josh Carrance, the most recent player to come onto the field for the Thunder. Stooping to head the ball away was Edwards, and trying his luck from distance. That one was fizzing into the breeze from Mercer Mehmedi, the central defender, unleashing an effort, and that's gone almost all the way down to the Tullamarine Freeway. It might be even in the Moonee Ponds Creek. There is a spectator there giving chase. Giving chase with plenty of intensity too. Might be able to see them in the background on the shot being provided by Matteo, just behind the scoreboard there. Matteo for Sportscast Australia, giving you the best look at the action this afternoon, so you don't have to leave the comforts of your own home. So we're saying this afternoon, 11 degrees, feels like 8 though, with the cold breeze that we're having. Here's Carrance, easy to pick with the taping on both wrists. How to look like a baller, that's how to do it. Just a bit of physio tape on each wrist, and Josh Carrance really stands out. Also has pre-cut the holes in the socks as well. Not the only player out there who's done that though today, to be fair. Certainly got winning the fashion stakes at the moment is the substitute Josh Carrance. In the long sleeves playing it forward was Bryce to another player in long sleeves. It's Ott. Up the field by Mehmedi. It hangs in the air. Well read by Edwards. Picked up by Decker, and he used his body intelligently to win the free kick against Kirker, who doesn't really agree with Giannis This decision, but good call by the referee. And taken quickly by the Thunder. Intelligent play. Decker receiving from Jeeva. Plays it in again. It's nodded away by Edwards. Decker competing for it. On the edge of the box, and winning another free kick for the Thunder was Thomas Dunn. Thomas Dunn fouled in the challenge. It's a free kick in a useful position, particularly for the left footer here. Mercer Mehmedi is interested. Just over 20 minutes to go here at Avenger Park in this one. A slender lead for the host. Giannis is reaching into the pocket to get the hairspray out to mark where the wall can stand. Tom Manos carefully organising it like a surveyor standing over a theodolite. There's 4 in the wall. There's no draft excluder. Pretty hard to keep the draft out on a day like today, to be fair. In it comes from Mehmedi. It's punched away by Manos. Well, good attempt, but A bit too close to the centre of the goal. Mehmedi. Suleimani trying his luck. It was a dipping shot, but it wasn't dipping enough. Dandenong Thunder having a good 5 or so minutes here. Since bringing on Josh Carrance, they got a wealth of attacking talent out there. Players capable of scoring from all kinds of places. Kurdar, Carrance, Smiley, Suleimani, Decker. That's offside against Courtney Perkins. The Thunder looking to build up again through Kurdar. Alessi. Switching the play, looking for Ismaili. It's a good first touch by Ismaili, and he's going to pick out Suleimani, who's charging forward. Drawing Aiden Bryce out of the central defensive area, and he concedes the corner kick. The Thunder fans that are gathered here in the red and black beanies urging on their team in the last 20 minutes of this contest. Round 23, NPL Victoria action. Saturday afternoon football. Hope you're enjoying this one. To swing in the corner kick. Into the back post area. It's a little bit too long for everyone. Alessi's going to get there first and play it back into the goal. Straight to his opposite number 3 in Edwards. And the Thunder pick up the ball again. Kurdar receiving from Mehmedi. Towns with the interception. Kept his feet well. The counter-attack could be on here for Avondale. Trycheski. Kerr. He's got Courtney Perkins on the overlap. Just couldn't quite make the right decision quick enough there. Good Kerr and Ute Towns with the pirouette. And eventually drawing a crowd. Gets the ball back though. Towns. That's a good ball for Courtney Perkins, who is onside this time. Courtney Perkins looking for George Ott. Appeals for a handball on the sliding challenge from Ben Jeeva. Johannes Sousa's common sense decision is to give the corner kick, which he does. So 2-1 here. Christian Trycheski opening the scoring in the first half. Second half goals for Wade Decker for the Thunder. And then Stefan Zinni for Avondale. Avondale taking the time over this corner kick as Trycheski slowly wanders over to take. Hello to everyone tuning in wherever you're watching this afternoon. Hoping that you're somewhere warm and dry and enjoying this one. Avondale fans enjoying this one at the moment. They're just 6 points behind South Melbourne on the live ladder now, and the solitary 1 goal in goal difference if they were to tie it up. Comes the corner kick, headed by Ott. Thunder back in possession of Alessi's ball forward. Giving chase is Carrance, getting into the box, and it's straight into the breadbasket for Tom. Josh Carrance just couldn't cut the ball back enough. Aiden Bryce in possession. He's turned it over here. Towns. Free kick going the way of Avondale this time. And if you did miss it earlier, George Mills sent off for Avondale midway through this second half. So it's the 10 men of Avondale just trying to maintain their balance with the numerical disadvantage. A bit more argy-bargy going on out there at the moment. To take the corner kick. In it comes at the near post, away by Jeeva. Straight back to Carpenter, who's going to keep it in play. He's got Suleimani to beat. Trycheski gets it into the back post area. Smiley's going to be able to get onto this ball and play it up the line. If it doesn't go out of play first, which it does, he's happy to see it out for a goal kick. So just under 15 minutes to go. Avondale doing their best to hang on to this slender lead with the 10 men. Kurtar, that's a raking switch of play. Carpenter flew highest, but it still managed to clear his scone as he flew through the air. Just looking around the grounds, it is Heidelberg leading 2-1 against the relegation-threatened Moreland City. It's Kurtar receiving from Ismaili. Decker running it down. Ismaili is inside the box, and the attempt from Carrance was blocked by that wall of blue shirts back behind the ball. Mehmeti giving chase. Ott, who's already on a yellow card. Avondale don't want to have a second player sent off. Like a triple sub being prepared by Adam Pitico from the far side. 3 players in the red and black vertical stripes, stripped and ready to come on. And we'll see those changes take place now. So you can see the number 37 coming on, Christian Carvalho, to replace Sevdim Ismaili. So something of a like-for-like change at left back. Suleimani's day is done as well. He's going to be placed by Mohamed Salamovsky, the 21-year-old. Forward by Alessi. Can the Thunder press home this numerical advantage? They have George Mills sent off midway through this second half. Over 10 minutes to go. I hope you're enjoying this contest on the NPL Victoria live stream. Steve Curtin with you on the call. Big hello to Joel in East Geelong, who's such a regular viewer, enjoys tuning into these broadcasts, particularly when the weather outdoors is as abysmal as it has been this weekend. Just as I say that, the sun is just threatening to break through the clouds over in the distance on the horizon, looking out towards Moonee Ponds. Trycheski playing the ball out and giving something to chase for Jackson Courtney-Perkins, who might just about get there. He'll have to slide to keep it in. Flag stays down, so the ball is still live here for Jackson Courtney-Perkins as the sun decides to come and present itself across the playing surface here. And long shadows on Avenger Park. Kerr receiving from Vargas. Screws his shot. And he goes past the near upright. No save to be made there for Pierce Clark. Well, we have officially seen the 4 seasons in one day here at Avenger Park this afternoon. So we reach for sunglasses out of the kit bag. Didn't think we'd need those this afternoon. Carvalho. Kerdar. Carrance. Something brewing here for the Thunder, you fancy. Going to ground was Carrance. No foul, says Giannis Isis. Avondale can counter here. Yute Towns receiving from Kerr. Switching the play. Giving Trycheski something to chase. Jiva hailing a cab, but the flag doesn't go up for offside. Carpenter on the overlap. Blasty shot. Well, that had some power and pace on it. Pierce Clark stuck up one mid. The decision here looks like it's going to be a goal kick. Well, into the last 10 minutes here at Avenger Park. So we're saying around the grounds, Heidelberg United leading 2-1 against Moreland City. Just 3 rounds to go after today's match for these sides. Dandenong Thunder will face St Albans next Sunday at Churchill Reserve. That sound, you heard that correctly, that's an equalizer for Moreland City. So 2-2 between Moreland City and Heidelberg United. There's a change here for Avondale. Looks like it's going to be the youngster Patrick Hogan, who made the move across from Melbourne City. Previously at Melbourne Victory's Academy as well. Patrick Hogan, who made his first appearance starting in the Australia Cup loss against the Oakley Cannons at the home of the Matildas a few weeks ago in midweek. And he comes on to replace the big otter from New Zealand, George Ott. His afternoon is done. No goals to add to his account this afternoon, but putting in a good shift up front for Zoki Markowski's side once again. Here's Hogan, trying to deceive his opponent, unless he not one to be fooled. Well, as it stands, we could be set for another Pierce Clark cameo as a makeshift striker at the set-piece opportunity, with just one solitary goal separating the two sides. 7.5 minutes to go of regular time. Jiba out in front of the Thunder technical area. Dunn. Kerdar. Carvalho. This is Selimovsky. Carvalho's going to float this ball in. Got a good bit of purchase on it. Dealt with by the Avondale defence. Avondale doing just about enough with the 10 men, but the door's always slightly ajar, you fancy, for Thunder, a team who's able to score goals quickly out of half chances. Haven't generated a lot of genuine attempts on Tom Manus' goal in this second half, but when they did, Wade Decker was there to convert the chance. A very convincing finish, and here's the ball from Carvalho, looking for Smiley, as we said, in goal scoring form last week with a double. Towns colliding with Kerdar, and the whistle does sound from Giannis Isis. Burkan Kerdar certainly not agreeing with the decision. By Mehmedi. Kirko bring it down on the knee. 7-iron from Carpenter, found Trycheski. He's playing something of a makeshift forward after George Ott's been subbed out, and certainly playing with one less in their attacking zone. Not worth rolling the dice and putting too many players up top when they're down to 10 men. George Mel sent off on 61 minutes. Ball into the box, away by Courtney Perkins. Almost broke for Curdo, who had it played against him by Edwards. That would have to sting on a cold day. Out wide is Wade Decker. It's the solitary goal scorer for the Thunder this afternoon. Courtney Perkins. Curdo's been so busy putting the pressure on him, but Courtney Perkins. Hogan's going to be offside if he receives the ball here. He's going to need to get himself back behind the defensive line, which he doesn't. Oh, frustrating one for Zoran Markowski. You can see him looking a bit aggrieved on the bench. Another goal around the grounds. That one is in the second tier. Eastern Lions have come from 1-0 down against North Geelong Warriors at home to go 2-1 ahead in the last minute of regular time. Cavallo's ball inside. Oh, sliding in was done on Towns. Play on is the call. Advantage going the way of Avondale. Pierce Clark, well, he might want to have that one again. And the yellow card in retrospect is shown to the young New South Welshman Thomas Dunn. Good refereeing by Ioannis Isis to allow the advantage to continue. We might be in luck here. The rain might stay away for the final few minutes of this one. That would be kind after certainly the pre-match warm-ups and the first half all conducted in teeming rain here in Parkville this afternoon. And there's still time for the Thunder. They've got the numerical advantage. They're just a goal down on the scoreboard where it matters most at the moment. Jiva. Lessie and Curdo, everyone behind the ball for the Avengers. They're just trying to play out time here. Get that 3 points and then go on and try and get another 3 points against Gully, and then a result against South the following week could really put the cat amongst the pigeons. We'll have to wait and see what transpires. They need to get the 3 points here in the first place. Cavallo on the overlap is Mehmeti. Mercer Mehmeti swings the ball in. Carrance flew highest and Manos was trying to punch away. Manos has stayed down. Well, it was a fair challenge by Josh Carrance, but Tom Manos looks to have been cleaned up here. Really good ball in by Mercer Mehmeti. A big defender providing the overlap run into the wide area. Played through by Cavallo, and the first time crossed by Mehmeti was an excellent one, and a big collision on the edge of the 6-yard box it was from Carrance, who just about got his head to the ball, but Tom Manos is the one who's come off second best. Hopefully he's going to be okay to continue. Mayan is the sub-keeper, and he's going through some warm-ups on the sidelines. Long to go here in this one, but we might have some time added on for this issue with Tom Manos. Still going through some warm-up routines. Security officials are pulling the accordion-style tunnel out down to the fence line, but we're going to have to wait a few more minutes before we see the players disappearing down that. This one is not over, and there's going to be some stoppage time for Tom Manos, who's back up on his feet after the trainers coming out to assess the extent of his injuries. Mayan still going through the warm-up routines. And it's looking like he's going to be okay to continue. goal kick from Aidan Bryce. In the last minute of regular time, you can see the number 5 on the fourth official's board over there. Alex Nikolowski does confirm as he holds the board aloft to say that there'll be 5 further minutes of action added to this one. So that'll take us up to 4:55 local time here in Melbourne. Definitely feel the day's gradually getting longer this time of year, but not getting any warmer, that's for sure. Nice plays it up the line. So 5 minutes for the Thunder to pull a goal back. A point could be quite handy come the end of the season. 10 points out of the top 6, but 10 points from 13th place Dandenong United Blues, who've still got to play today, or later tonight out at Hume City. Kurda. This is Hogan. Patrick Hogan charging forward. Can he get by Alessi? Still he goes, Hogan into the box. He's got them queuing up in the middle, and it goes across the face. Kerr and Trycheski making runs into the box. Patrick Hogan doing his best to try and seal this game for his side, the substitute. Good enterprising run that he made. So in that other game over at CB Smith Reserve, still 2-2. Heidelberg certainly keeping the pressure on the teams above them, but that result, if it is to stay as a draw, that will certainly be favourable for the likes of Hume, Oakley, and of course Avondale. It's all pretty close between those teams between 2nd and 5th. Cavallo floats the ball in. Trycheski drag back, come under some pressure from the Thunder defenders. Towns couldn't find the target with his pass. Vargas. Now you say Towns through the long shadows. And we have seen Heidelberg score a late goal to make it 3-2 out at CV Smith. Kerr throwing the step overs. Carpenter trying his luck, and he screws the shot wide. Too much hook on the attempt. Left back charging forward. Loves to get on the end of those kind of moves, particularly late in games. Unable to find the goal that would seal the result here. So Pierce Clark is hobbling around, but you still fancy we might see some Pierce Clark penalty area action in the Avondale penalty area. Headed by Bryce, it breaks for Smiley, back to goal, lays it off. Decker was there. Decker already on 1 goal this afternoon. The space never opened up for the shot. He's keeping the pressure on Towns, who's going to just have to put the ball out of play. So Thunder can keep the pressure on. Got about 2 minutes to play here at Avenger Park. The time running out for the Thunder if they're able to find an equalizer. Nearly taking a screamer on the far side was Ben Jeeva. He's going to get a yellow card for his troubles. He's pleading his case, saying perhaps the ball was already out of play and he was just trying to play ball boy. Checking with the assistant referee on the far side, Ben Lefalea. The ball's still in play. Screamers are not allowed to be taken in association football. That's a yellow card for Ben Jeeva. Unless you're a goalkeeper, of course. The final throws of this one, Avondale, they're almost about there. They'll close to within 6 points of South Melbourne. Here's Decker. Throw goes the way of the Thunder. Here's Clark is wandering towards the halfway line. He looks like he's on one leg. Not sure how much value he will be if he does get himself down into the penalty area, but remain to see what happens. That's a good defensive header by Edwards. Got his body parallel to the ground. Here's Patrick Hogan stepping forward, and Kerr. That's a 3-on-2 or a 3-on-3 here. Trycheski, the pass was a little bit too behind him. Courtney Perkins joins the attack. Or is he going to just head for the corner flag? That might be the smartest option here. Avondale trying to win the ball back, but Courtney Perkins has done well there. Well played. He's still looking like he's fresh as a daisy after playing a tough 90 minutes of shuttling up and back the pitch. And he's one inside to throw in here, and that'll just about buy him enough time. You fancy now. 5 minutes evaporating for Dandenong Thunder. Cavallo's throw. We await the whistle from Giannis Isis. We're at his discretion now. 1 or 2 whistles coming from the Avondale fans gathered here as the rain starts to come down in the final minute of the action here. Can the Thunder conjure up a last gasp equalizer? Got the throw. This is their last roll of the dice. Burkan Kurdar. The big men are forward. He floats it into the box. He's there, and Manos comes and claims. And that should just about seal the 3 points now for Avondale. Avondale, second place on the league table. Keep them clear of the Oakley Cannons, breathing down their neck in third. And keep the pressure on South Melbourne in first, at least to some extent. Long ball forward. Alessi's header. Still we go. Giannis is just adding more time on. Mehmeti's ball forward, looking for Smiley. Carpenter competing for it. Carpenter sends it forward. And that will be that. 3 points to the Avengers, an all-important 3 points as well at the pointy end of the season. Dandenong Thunder put in a brave performance this afternoon, and they certainly got a lot closer than they did to Avondale when they met them earlier in the season out at George Andrews Reserve. Tough contest in tough one to hang in the Louvre this match, but what matters most for Avondale is they get the 3 points and keep the pressure on the South Melbourne side, which they will meet in a couple of weeks after the match against Green Gully next week, and then the final match of the season against Port Melbourne. And as we said, for the Thunder, no points this afternoon, but if they can pick up some points, they'll well and truly guarantee safety. You fancy the next match at St Albans next weekend on Sunday afternoon at Churchill Reserve before they take on the Melbourne Knights, and then Moreland City in the final game of the season. Their fate well and truly in their hands. They should be safe to fight again another day next season in NPL Victoria. But we hope you've enjoyed this contest this afternoon on the NPL Victoria live stream, and a special mention to Matteo behind the camera for Sportscast Australia, our last appointment working together this afternoon. And as we mentioned, you can catch Matteo. He'll be the videographer for the match, coming your way tonight at 7 o'clock from Broadmeadows Valley Reserve, Hume City, and the Manningham United Blues. You can also turn across now to the Port Melbourne Green Gully game about to kick off from JL Murphy Reserve. And tomorrow afternoon you can also catch the match at St Albans, where the Oakley Cannons, who will need to get the points to keep up with Avondale, those two sides trading blows this season, equal on points after their draw last week. Avondale getting the 3 points today, so the Oakley Cannons will want to get the 3 points against St Albans tomorrow afternoon. The first half, Wade Decker scoring the second half to level things up at 1-1. We also saw George Mell sent off during the second half, but Stefan Zinni's goal proved to be the winner in the end as the players looked to head off the park. Pierce Clark, the goal-scoring goalkeeper from a few weeks ago, certainly got some heavy strapping on the right quad. You can certainly see why he wasn't taking those long goal kicks. The players disappeared down the tunnel. Thanks for your company on the NPL Victoria live stream this afternoon. I've been Steve Curtin, and thanks again to Matteo behind the camera. And until next time, have a good evening at full time at Avenger Park. The full-time score, Avondale 2, Dandenong Thunder 1. Good evening.